Young people today are lazy and entitled. They expect everything for nothing, and they're allergic to hard work. Under 25s not in employment, education or training, just sit at home living off their parents, playing video games and not contributing anything to society. Violent teenagers are roaming the streets, intimidating communities and committing crime with no respect for authority or fear of the law. These are just some of the negative stereotypes that exist about young people today. But how can we change this misconception of young people? This is the head office of a charity called V Inspired. Everyone here works tirelessly to counter the negative representations of young people in the media today. The charity's PR manager, Janki Mehta, explains the problem.
In the UK, we've got a massive image problem for young people. They are considered to be lazy, considered to be good for nothing. Youth unemployment figures are very high in the UK. So it's very difficult for young people to really kind of talk about the good things that they have to offer. I think it's a particularly bad problem at the moment because youth unemployment in the UK is so high. Young people are struggling to get into universities because tuition fees are really high, and there's a big divide between the generations in the UK.
So what practical help can V Inspired offer young people in the UK today?
At the moment, it's quite hard to be a young person. It's quite hard to feel good about what you have to offer society when 1 in 4 young people doesn't even have a job. But volunteering can give young people a sense of something good to offer their society, something positive that they can do, and just give them that boost that they need to kind of go forward with their careers and their lives. We run a website called vinspired.com, and it's an online marketplace for young people to link up with volunteering opportunities in charities all over the country. At the moment we have 2,500 charities registered on that website, and 145,000 young people use that website to find opportunities and also to log their volunteering hours so that they have a great record of all the time and effort they've put into their volunteering work.
You only have to go to V Inspired's website or their YouTube channel to see some of the amazing work that is being done by young volunteers around the UK today. From individual carers to youth groups fighting to improve their local communities, the stories are numerous and inspiring. Everyone at V Inspired knows that there are thousands of young people in the UK who do amazing work every day. But how do they get the message out?
We work really hard to reach out to young people in lots of different ways, and that includes using the press and media. But one of the biggest ways that we reach young people is through social media. Every year we run the V Inspired National Awards, which is the country's biggest celebration of young volunteers. We have some young people who spend hours and hours every single week doing wonderful things for their communities, but they just don't get heard about. So the V Inspired National Awards are about celebrating those young people and making sure that their efforts get recognised.
A past winner of the V Inspired Awards is Eliza Ribeiro from Croydon, South London. Eliza only recently turned 20, but she is already an experienced volunteer and campaigner. Eliza won the V Inspired National Bringing Communities Together Award for the work she does with her organisation Lives Not Knives. Eliza hasn't always been an award winner and positive role model, quite the opposite. But it was her personal experience of gang culture and knife crime in her local area that led her to turn her life around and to help others do the same. For Eliza, the change started with something very simple.
So the T-shirts came about and they said Lives Not Knives on them, and they were just plain. And loads of young people in Croydon wanted them. So my mum invested in some T-shirts, and with the money we raised, we held a party and got everyone to sign a petition saying youth can have fun without violence, just to send to the local press to prove that not all young people were negative.
And soon other people were starting to take note of her work in the community, and Lives Not Knives was born.
Our main objective was to work in primary schools, talking to young people between of 9 to 11 about the dangers of getting involved in knife crime and gang culture and what can happen if you do. We started working in about 6 to 10 primary schools and now work in over 65. So we now work with over 10,000 young people a year.
Of course, Eliza didn't do it all on her own. Many people have helped her.
My mum helped set up Lives Not Knives with me and has been the main kind of drive for Lives Not Knives. Then since I was 16 and working with Channel 4, that gave us a lot of media coverage and helped us train the mentors. Then we won a Princess Diana Award and then a Philip Lawrence Award and a V Inspired Award. And that's given us huge media coverage, and as their national awards, it's been really helpful. But the main support has been the local community that have volunteered their time in helping us. And then again, my mum and my grandma, who give a lot of their time to do work with Lives Not Knives.
Eliza is a brilliant role model for young people growing up in her area and beyond. She is the embodiment of what V Inspired sets out to achieve with young people around the country. And of course, she has great plans for the future.
With Lives Not Knives, I want to create kind of mini bases across the country. So I think if there's a team of young people that are committed to reducing crime across London, across England, working together, it'll be a lot easier to understand the problems of what's going wrong. And also being able to tackle it before it actually does repeat itself. For me personally, I kind of want to do a bit of travelling and a bit of research on youth crimes committed across the world and other youth organisations that are reducing crime, but also to understand a bit more for myself and kind of build a project that might be able to work across the board that reduces youth crime and understands the mindset of kind of young criminals.
And with the support of her family, community and organisations like V Inspired, it's easy to believe that anything is possible for Eliza in the future.